ready to go? All right. Council will be in order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Walsh. Present. Present. Counselor Fenton.
Present.
Present. Counselor Perez.
Present.
Present. Counselor Whitfield. Absent. Counselor Govan.
Present.
Present. Counselor Allen.
Present.
Present. Counselor Brown.
Present.
Present. Counselor Hurst.
Present.
Present. Counselor Click Bruce.
Present.
Present. Counselor Edwards.
Present.
Present. Counselor Curran.
Present.
Present. Counselor Davila.
Present.
Present. Counselor Letterman.
Present. Will the council and guests please rise and join me in a moment of silence? Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You can all be seated. As we proceed, let the record reflect that Councilor Fenton and Councilor Hurst are participating in the proceedings remotely. I understand there was a Finance Committee meeting held earlier today relative to a couple of items that are appearing on today's agenda. So before we proceed to the hearings, we'll take a Finance Committee report from Councilor Allen.
Thank you, Mr. President. There was a Finance Committee meeting at 5:30 today. There were 5 items. Councilor Govan and Councilor Whitfield, who were members of the Finance Committee, were on the meeting, as was Councilor Walsh and I believe Councilor Davila. The first 3 items were grants, which were all approved. We did approve the whole slate of items 2-0. Councilor Whitfield wasn't there for the whole meeting, so she didn't want to vote on the whole thing, but Councilor Govan and I voted 2-0 on the 3 grants, and on the other 2 items, which are items 4 and 5, I think they're 4 and 5 on tonight's agenda, which was the potential land taking on Tapley Street. And that is an item that I was in discussions on all day today, and Councilor Attorney Moore is on this meeting with us, and he is the person who can best address those issues. So if you'd like, assuming he's here, he expected to be here, and he could update everybody on the issues with the Tapley Street. So the Finance Committee meeting was held. All items were approved by a 2-0, and if you'd like to hear more from at the appropriate time, either I can help, but even better is Attorney Moore.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. So we'll take that when we approach the appropriation order. Does that conclude your committee report?
That does complete my committee report.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Madam Clerk, without objection, please call the roll to accept the report of committee.
On accepting the report, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Whitfield. Absent. Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Allen.
Before I vote yes, I'd like to add Councilor Click Bruce was also on that committee meeting. Yes.
Yes. Counselor Brown.
Yes.
For the record, Marie Perez, too. Councilor Marie Perez went at the finance.
Councilor Perez, sorry. Thank you. Sorry.
Yes. Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Sorry. Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The report is accepted. Before we move further, we've received a request from the petitioners of item 11, which is the zone change at 710 Liberty Street, to continue. As is our practice, when a continuance request comes in, we do often take the continuance first in case the matter is continued, so that members of the public who may be present to testify do not have to sit through and wait only to be continued. So we have received a request to continue item 11. That request will require a motion from a member of the body, as well as deliberation and a vote. Councilor Edwards has made a motion to continue item 11. Is there a second? The request has been seconded by Councilor Davila. Is there any discussion on the motion to continue item 11? Councilor Fenton.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm not opposed to a motion to continue tonight, but I just did want to acknowledge that we've received a letter of opposition for this development from the Hungry Hill Neighborhood Council, as well as a letter of opposition and a petition. I know there's some folks in the audience here tonight who wish to speak both in favor and against. And I'm happy to continue this to a future meeting, particularly in the interest that I can be there personally. But I just wanted to do justice to that work that's been done to date, including 4 or 5 meetings that have been held by the Hungry Hill Neighborhood Council. So happy to support the motion to continue, but we've definitely got work to do on this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Fenton. Is there any further discussion on the motion to continue? Seeing no further discussion, Madam Clerk, without objection, please call the roll on the motion to continue.
On the motion, Councilor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield, absent. Councilor Govan?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman?
Yes, the votes are sufficient. This zone change will be continued to our next hearings meeting. Madam Clerk, can you share the date of the next hearings meeting for the benefit of members of the public?
One moment. The next hearings meeting will be in September on the 26th. That's a Tuesday. A Tuesday, because Monday will be not in session.
So the zone change is continued to Tuesday, September 26th. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the first item.
The first item on the agenda is Mass Call 3 grant, no match required, in the amount of $500,000.
Is there anyone here to speak to this item?
I am. Thank
Commissioner
you.
Carlton Harris.
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, let me start by thanking you, Council President Letterman, for putting these 3 grants on the agenda. They all involve youth, and wanted to make sure we were able to begin the year with these grants in place. So thank you for putting them on the agenda. The Mass Call 3 grant is the continuation of a grant that we've had for 3 years, and it is Springfield, Holyoke, and Chicopee are the partners. Springfield is the lead entity. It is working in the public school system with youth, educating about the dangers of substances and substance use disorders. So that is the grant. Again, it's a grant that it's a continuation of a grant that we currently have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Are there any questions for the Commissioner on the grant? Seeing no further questions, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on acceptance of the grant.
On accepting the grant, Councilor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield, absent. Councilor Govan?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman?
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The grant is accepted. Madam Clerk, item 2, please.
Item 2 is a Springfield Safe Ride Home project in the amount of $191,000, no match required.
Commissioner?
Yes, this is a grant from the Mass Gaming Commission as well as the Department of Public Health. It is a research grant. The research is looking at the intersect between gambling, alcohol, and operating under the influence. We will be working with MGM, local nonprofit organizations will get data from AAA as well as the Massachusetts Police, local police. We will hire 2 grad students from the University of Massachusetts who will be the primary research entity, and we will work with New North Citizens Council to make sure our community health workers are doing outreach across the city, not just in the North End. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Are there any questions on the grant? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on acceptance of the grant.
On acceptance of the grant, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Recuse.
Recuse, Counselor Whitfield. Absent, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The grant is accepted. Counselor Curran, could you reposition your mic towards you and speak into it when you vote so we can record accurately? Madam Clerk, please call item 3.
Item 3 is for Springfield Young Adults Gambling Project in the amount of $19,600. No match required.
Commissioner?
Again, this is a grant that focuses primarily on youth. We are working with youth to advise us. We don't want to just talk for youth. We want to talk with them around gambling. Many of you know video games can be seen as gambling often for young people. There are scratch tickets. There are many ways in which youth could become involved in gambling. And so the goal of this is to make sure that we are hearing the voices of the young people who potentially are impacted. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Are there any questions from members of the council? Seeing no questions, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on acceptance of the grant.
On acceptance of the grant, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield. Absent, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The grant is accepted.
And thank you very much, counselors. I'm grateful. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Commissioner. Madam Clerk, please call item 4.
Item 4 is an appropriation order for taking damages for a portion of 90-120 Tapley Street.
Counselor Allen?
This item, thank you, Mr. President. This item, I was involved in discussions today on this item. It was to be a land taking. The discussions resulted in Attorney Tom Moore, who's been working on it. I had some discussions with him, and I believe he is on this call tonight, and he's the right person to give an update.
Attorney Moore, welcome back.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, councilors, for having me appear. Attorney Thomas Moore, City of Springfield Law Department, 36 Court Street. Councilor Allen's right. This has been a long standing property the city has been involved with over at 90 Tapley Street. It's actually directly next to the operations center at 70 Tapley. And it's been under long-term lease with the city over the last quarter century or so for specifically DPW operations, both regular and emergency. New ownership came to acquire the property fairly recently, and they extended out, information to the city looking to negotiate a new lease agreement. The current lease agreement was set to expire at the end of September of this year. So we've been working with them for quite a while to try to get something that worked for both parties. We had a deadline of September 30th, so this item was kind of placed on the agenda as the last resort. The site is critical to operations, so the city, as a last resort, would look to exercise eminent domain powers as a public purpose to take the property. And I should say as well that it would only be a portion of the property we're talking about. It's really the back portion of the property. It's not the whole parcel. But, you know, we always look to eminent domain as a last resort. I know the council views it the same way, and we try to work with the community on the ownership of the properties to try to work out a deal that works. This morning, we were able to make some progress. That was something that hadn't been done for quite a while. So we've secured another 30 days in the lease to give us a chance to finalize our new lease agreement and to avoid doing an eminent domain taking. So really looking to continue both of these matters to the next council meeting. And at that time, with any luck, we'll have a new lease agreement for the council as opposed to an eminent domain order.
Thank you, Attorney Moore. Counselor Allen?
Yeah, so that is, the two items are kind of linked together. Earlier in the day, we thought we were going to be voting on a taking. The progress that was made during the day was to agree to have 30 more days approximately to work out the lease. It's been difficult to work out the lease up to this point, but there seemed to be mutual agreement that this is a better solution to try to do this. So when we come here on Monday, September 18th, hopefully there will be a new lease in place, and if not, we might have to deal with the land taking at that point. The land taking can take effect right away. So the existing lease, the problem is it expires at the end of September, and it includes access to the salt and some of the other critical things for public safety and for DPW's work. So, Attorney Moore worked it out today with other people, and that's where we are.
Thank you, Counselor Allen. Do you have a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to continue item 4 and item 5, if I can do both together, or continue items 4 and 5. So then,
Counselor Allen's made a motion to continue items 4 and 5. It's been seconded by Counselor Govan. Is there any discussion on the motion to continue? Seeing no discussion, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on the motion to continue items 4 and 5.
On the motion to continue both items, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield. Absent, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. These items will be continued to the September 18th meeting.
Thank you, Attorney Moore.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, councilors. I look forward to hearing from you in front of you in September.
Thank you, Attorney Moore. Always a pleasure to have you here. Madam Clerk, please call item 6.
Item 6 is for a special permit for motor vehicle sales as an accessory use at the property known as 466 Main Street in Indian Orchard.
And I believe this item was continued from a previous hearing. The hearing was left open. At this time, I'll recognize the petitioner to speak on behalf of their special permit and share updates since the last meeting.
Good afternoon. My name is Luis Rojas. I'm here because I applied for motor vehicle sale for 66 Main Street, Indian Ocean.
Sir, could you speak directly into the microphone?
Good afternoon. My name is Luis Rojas. I'm here because I applied for the motor vehicle sale special permits at 466 Main Street, Indian Ocean.
And so this hearing was continued from our previous meeting. I know that you were in communication, I believe, with Indian Orchard Citizens Council and the Office of Planning. Do you have further information to share relative to your permit?
Yes.
You may do so at this time.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again?
Sure. So this hearing was continued from a previous meeting. I know at that time there had been questions from members of the council relative to the state of the property. My understanding was that you were going to be conferring with the ward councilor, the neighborhood council, and the Office of Planning. And so as we move forward with the hearing, we would just like to hear an update as to how those conversations have gone and any new information you'd like to volunteer. And if you need to speak through a family member or interpreter, that is perfectly acceptable as well.
Si tiene alguna actualización del tema de lo que hablaron la última vez.
Yes. Yes. That day I mixed the meeting, the Springfield. as Indian Ocean community. I've been there already. Was some clean something in the back, moved some car from the back. Everything is clear now, and everything is, I think, is ready.
I can hear him.
May I, we just can't hear anything at all. No?
Yeah, maybe.
Sir, could you speak loudly and clearly into the microphone?
Yes, that day that I've been here, I missed the appointment to the meeting in the Indian Ocean community. I've been there already. I participated in an activity that happened last month, and I was supposed to clean something in the back of the yard. Everything, I cleaned everything and moved some junk car that was in the back, and I marked the parking space. Everything that you asked me I did already.
Thank you very much. Do you wish to offer any further testimony relative to your special permit?
No.
If that is the case, then we'll ask that you step aside for this time, and we'll ask if there is anybody else speaking in favor of the special permit that would like to be heard this evening, either in person or virtually. And we just ask, sir, that you step aside briefly. You can be seated. Thank you. And say again, is there anybody here to speak in favor of the special permit at 466 Main Street, Indian Orchard, either in person or virtually? Mr. Dromey?
Hi, Counselor. Apologize, I'm not at the meeting in person tonight, but I just wanted to let everyone know that I did visit the site a couple of weeks ago, and there was a concerted effort to address the concerns that I had raised in my previous analysis. So I have no issue with the council if it's so chooses so to move forward with the special permit tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Dromey. Are there any further individuals present to speak in person or virtually in favor of the special permit? Seeing no further individuals present to speak in favor, are there any individuals present in person or virtually to speak in opposition to the special permit? And seeing none, while the hearing remains open, are there any questions from members of the council? Councilor Govan?
I don't have any questions. I just want to clarify that Mr. Rojas did come to the Indian Orchard Citizens Council meeting and presented his proposition, and the council did initially have concerns about the way the property looks at this time, or at that time, and since then, at that meeting, actually, we agreed to support the proposition. He is agreeing to, I guess, clean up the space and make it look good. So we did give him a letter of approval from the Indian Orchard Citizens Council.
Thank you, Councilor Govan. Are there any further questions from members of the council while the hearing remains open? Seeing no further questions from members of the council at this time, without objection, I'll declare that the public hearing is now closed. Is there any deliberation amongst the body prior to our vote on the special permit? Seeing no further deliberation, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on approval of the special permit. 2/3 majority vote is required.
On approval of the special permit, Councillor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Whitfield absent. Councillor Govan.
Abstain.
Abstain, Councillor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The special permit is approved. Councilor Govan on the reasons.
Oh, let me read them. Hold on.
Councilor Govan, since you are recused or you had abstained on this vote, I think you should have Councilor Allen read the reasons.
Okay, here you go, Councilor
Councilor Allen on the
Thank you.
reasons.
Thank you. Reasons for a granted permit. The specific site is an appropriate location for such a use, structure, or condition. Reason number 2, the use as developed will not adversely affect the neighborhood. Reason number 3, adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided for the proper operation of the proposed use. And reason number 4, to incorporate the planning staff analysis into the decision at the basis of the findings.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Is there any discussion on the reasons? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on acceptance of the reasons.
On acceptance of the reasons, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield. Absent, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The reasons are approved. Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you, Councilor Kern. Reasons are approved. Madam Clerk, please call item 7.
Item 7 is to amend an existing special permit motor vehicle sales station, service station originally granted in October 1984 by allowing a change in petitioner at the property known as 1130 Boston Road.
Is the petitioner present? Please step forward. This is a special permit hearing of the Springfield City Council. Will be run in accordance with our rules. Proponents of the special permit will be granted 20 minutes to testify in favor. Opponents will be granted the same right at 20 minutes. Both sides will be entitled to 5 minutes of rebuttal. At this time, I will declare that the public hearing is now open and recognize the petitioner as the first proponent. Sir, please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Attorney Tony Dos Santos on behalf of the petitioner from Career Chapel, Dos Santos and Devlin here in Springfield. I will not take the full 20 minutes on behalf of the petitioner. This
Thank
is
you.
what we hope will be a simple administrative matter. This special permit was granted in 1984. This is simply to change the name on the special permit since it doesn't run with the land. My client has purchased a portfolio of Jiffy Lubes. This is one of them, and we're simply trying to amend the special permit to change the name on that. All existing conditions, as Mr. Dromey has indicated in his approval, would continue pending the approval of the City Council.
Thank you very much. Do you have anything further to offer? At this time, we'll ask that you step aside. And are there any further individuals present to speak in favor or either in person or virtually to speak in favor of the special permit? Say again, are there any further individuals present in person or virtually? Seeing none, are there any individuals present to speak in opposition to the special permit, either in person or virtually? Saying again, any further individuals present to speak in opposition, either in person or virtually? Seeing none, are there any questions from members of the council while the public hearing remains open for the petitioner? Seeing no questions from members of the council, without objection, I'll now declare that the public hearing is closed. Is there any deliberation amongst members of the body prior to our vote? Seeing no further deliberation, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on approval of the special permit.
On approval of the special permit, Counselor Walsh. Yes. Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield. Absent, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The permit is approved. Councilor Govan on the reasons.
Reasons for granted permit. 1, the specific site is an appropriate location for such a use, structure, or condition. The use as developed will not adversely affect the neighborhood. Adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided for the proper operation of the proposed use. And 4, to incorporate the planning staff analysis into the decision at the basis of the findings.
Thank you, Councilor. Are there any discussion on the reasons? Seeing no discussion on the reasons, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on approval of the reasons.
On approval of the reasons, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield. Absent, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The reasons are approved. Madam Clerk, please call item 8.
Item 8 is to amend an existing special permit, mechanical public car wash, granted March 2013 by allowing a change in the petitioner at the property known as 1193 State Street.
And Madam Clerk, before we proceed to item 8, can you please recognize Councilor Whitfield?
Counselor Whitfield?
Present.
Present.
And Madam Clerk, let the record reflect that Councilor Whitfield is participating remotely. Can you please restate item 8 for Councilor Whitfield's benefit?
So item 8 is to amend an existing special permit, mechanical public car wash, granted March 2013 by allowing a change in the petitioner at the property known as 1193 State Street.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Is the petitioner present? Please step forward. The special permit hearing of the Springfield City Council will be run in accordance with the same rules as previously stated. Proponents will be granted 20 minutes to testify in favor of the special permit. Opponents will be granted the same 20 minutes. Both will be entitled to 5 minutes of rebuttal. At this time, I'll declare that the public hearing is now open and recognize the petitioner as the first proponent. Please state your name and address for the record.
Thank you very much. Kathleen Bernardo. I'm an attorney at Bulkley, Richardson, and Jelinas, 1500 Main Street, Springfield. I'm here representing Suman Kalapala, manager of SRS Partners, LLC, the intended purchaser of the property located at 1193 State Street. And we're seeking an amendment of the existing petition of the existing special permit to recognize the new buyer and to operate under the same conditions as the original permit. The petitioner intends on the same hours of operation. They will maintain the current employee of the seller, the current operator. And as far as I know, all of the conditions and issues that were raised previously with respect to the property have been addressed, except for the issues of the broken glass, which was an incident of some vandalism. It's going to be taken care of in the next couple of days, I understand, from the seller.
Thank you very much. Does that conclude your testimony?
I believe so.
And if that is the case, we'd ask that you relinquish the podium, and we'll ask if there are any further individuals present in person or virtually to speak in favor of the special permit. Say again, are there any individuals present in person or virtually to speak in favor of this special permit? Seeing none, are there any individuals present in person or virtually to speak in opposition to the special permit? Saying again, any individuals present to speak in opposition to the special permit, either in person or virtually? Seeing none, are there any questions for the petitioner from members of the council while the hearing remains open? Councilor Govan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is this the car wash that's around the corner from Mount Zion Church, or no? I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
It is, okay. Because I know that a while ago there was some issues with the noise, and has that been rectified, do you know?
The petitioner has spoken with the pastor at the church, and I believe they had a very favorable conversation, and I didn't believe that there were any opposition from them at this time.
Okay.
I think they were actually happy that it would continue to be operated and not, closed down or abandoned.
Okay, okay, great, thank you. That's my question, Mr. President.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Councilor Govan. Councilor Whitfield.
And the proponents, please. Thank you, Mr. President, and I came in right on time. I didn't want to miss this special permit. The church is Zion Community Baptist Church. And I think that if there was any opposition, they would have reached out to me about it, and no one did. So I'm pretty
Councilor
pleased.
Whitfield.
But
Councilor Whitfield.
I don't understand the change. Yes, sir.
Councilor Whitfield, we can hear you, but your connection is a little bit tinny. So if you could speak just a little slower and a little bit more directly into the microphone, because we can't quite decipher what you're saying.
Did you hear the part where I said that's my family church, Zion Community Baptist Church?
We can hear you,
Did you hear
Councilor
that
Whitfield,
right?
but your connection is slightly garbled.
Use my hotspot. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the hotspot. I'm driving at the moment with my son, so 1 second. But if there's any other questions, I'll come back. I'll come back to mine.
Okay, we'll go to Counselor Davila, Counselor Whitfield, and then I'll circle back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor Davila?
Oh, thank you, Mr. President. I have a quick question for the petitioner, Mr. Kalapa, I believe?
Kalapala.
Kalapa. You mentioned about the fence. If I recall correctly, in the last meeting, we were talking about, was there a height suggestion or a material suggestion on this fence?
I would inquire of the seller and seller's counsel of that requirement because I do not remember the details of those issues at the
This
last.
is, who are you, sir?
My name is John DeCruz. I'm an attorney for the current owner,
Welcome.
Mr. Gonzalez. I did watch the last hearing. We went there specifically today and took some pictures. There is currently a fence there, and there's got to be about 200 feet of shrubbery and bushes
Right.
between the rear of this property
Right.
and the end of the other property. I think the city of Springfield owns the property that's behind there, and it's quite heavily, densely forest before you get to where the residential area starts. So I don't think there should be any issue. This is the way it's been for the last 10 years. There's quite a good buffer in there. We have photos, Mr. DeVille, if you'd like to see them.
No, the reason I ask is I vaguely remember the church coming in, and they were talking about some of the noises at night, and I believe there was discussion about a fence, which, did you say something about a fence at the beginning of the?
There's currently a fence there, yes.
There's currently a fence in the beginning, okay.
Right.
So the fence that is there is going to stay there?
Yes.
And you're confident that's going to mitigate any potential noise?
I don't see that another fence would add any additional noise
Oh,
buffer.
the fence you have there now will mitigate any potential noise?
The fence is going to remain, yes. And there's several signs there that have been there for years regarding respect your neighbors and noise, and that please take notice regarding noise and everything else.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I spent some time there today myself, and for me, the property was clean, it was lit, there was cameras there. There was quite a buffer that I hadn't seen before. When you physically go there, like I said, there's the woods that are behind there.
I understand. And my last question is, what are your hours of operations again?
8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Monday through?
Monday through all week. Yep, 7 days a week.
7 days a week. So
Yes,
7 a.m. to 8?
8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
8 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Counselor Davila. Counselor Whitfield?
Thank you, Mr. President. Can that gentleman that was just speaking stand back up for a moment, please? Was that the attorney?
Yes, the seller's counsel.
Seller's counsel, yes.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
And I'm sorry, what's the seller's counselor's name, please?
Could you state your name for the
My
record?
name is John DeCruz. I'm the attorney for the current owner.
And what's the name of your firm, Mr. DeCruz?
It's John DeCruz, PC.
Okay, thank you, because like Counselor Davila said, there was a discussion about a fence, and I know that Counselor Fenton also raised the issue about the fence as well. And in the petition, I think we did say that a new fence was supposed to be added in a particular type of fence. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I don't know when the appropriate time to put this on hold so we could do some research. Mr. President, that's something that I would like to consider because we did talk about a fence, and they're signed and it may be really nice and quiet, but when you have elderly living on that street that's been there for years, I just want to be extra sure that there is a appropriate noise barrier because these individuals actually happen to be members of my church, which is that church, and I do remember us having that conversation.
Thank you, Counselor Whitfield.
So I don't know if the current fence can stay until we do that research.
Thank you, Counselor Whitfield. It's certainly within your rights to motion to continue at a time that would be of your choosing. I will say that Phil is on the line, and so he may be able to speak relative to the conditions of the two different permits as well. And I know there are some other individuals who also want to be heard, but the floor remains yours. The floor remains yours at this time, Counselor Whitfield.
Well, I would love it if Phil could come up and tell us about the conditions, Mr. President.
Phil, could you speak relative to the conditions of this permit as they relate to our previous hearing?
I was just trying to look at the previous analysis. I don't see an additional condition about the fence. You know, in my original analysis, there were a number of issues that I had wanted the petition to address. The dumpster had not been enclosed. There was a container that was by the side of the building, and the site itself was there was quite a bit of debris around the property. All those issues were addressed. Again, I would have to look back to see whether I'd have to look at the other meeting to see whether a condition was placed for that. An additional, I'm not sure if there was a condition added that it would. I think right now it's a chain link fence, so I don't know whether the council recommended change to.
It was a different fence. Yes, it was a different fence. I remember. So I would like.
I just don't recall.
Okay, so we need to find out for sure, if we can, if possible, because I just want to make sure that the community is getting what they asked for and what they need, even if others, people don't think that it's that important, and we would just leave it as it is. So that was kind of like the message as I heard it, and I don't know if it was meant like that. So I want to give Mr. Attorney DeCruz a chance to speak to it if you would like.
The only thing I have to say is we took several photos this afternoon. I'd like to share them with the council. The fence that's there and the shrubbery that's been there, the buffer zone that's been there, it's been there for about 10 years. And putting up another stockade fence is not going to create any additional noise barrier. The distance between the rear of that property and the church has got to be 200 to 300 feet. And we took photos. I'm more than happy to share them because, again, it's going to be an additional cost on the petitioner. It's been operating like this for the last 10 years. And I don't think a fence will improve that.
Something's been operating the way that it is for the last 10 years, that it should stay that way. So I would like to see your pictures in a continuance. I would like to see your pictures in a continuance. Because we got to do what's best for the constituents of the community, and I'm not trying to make it harder on the business, but we've been here to this car wash not too long ago, and my church community came out to the hearing and wanted to make sure things were safe and noise didn't get into the church services. And so, I mean, some certain things may not be big to people, and because it's been like that for 10 years, and there's bushes and shrubbery, we want to be extra sure for the constituency.
And for the record, Mr. Letterman, there hasn't been any formal complaint ever filed, a noise complaint on this special permit in the last 10 years.
Okay, I like that information. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr.
Councilor.
President?
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Does that conclude your remarks?
Yes, that concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. Basically, this actual petitioner, I've met with him, and it's actually in my ward, and the actual people around the area. The petitioner has met, I know he's met with the churches, been working with them probably for over the last couple weeks. So as far as a good business, this is something Ward 4, this is what we want. This is how we want you to do it. They dotted their I's, crossed their T's, they met with the abutters. When you're talking about that fence, you're talking about, literally, I live right down the street from the thing. The church has no issue. I know not only does the church not have issues, I know that it's well lit and there's cameras all over the place. So when you talk about the park right there, it's added security. There's nothing being changed. There's going to be the same management, and the management that's been there has been attention to detail is splendid. Is that a real word, Counselor? But I definitely know this is a business that we definitely want in our area. The fence is not an issue. I do recall the discussion with the church and the people there. It was approved. So it was approved then. It wasn't an issue then. If it was an issue then, they would not have approved it. So everything is exactly the same. The only thing they're doing is just adding the owner. The management is the same. Everything is the same. And not only is everything the same, they've done everything above and beyond to make sure not only the church was happy, but the abutters. And like I said, it's a business that I know that my community wants. I know Ward 4 residents are looking forward to it. We use it, and we love it. So it's definitely something I know we do want and support.
Thank you, Councilor Brown. Councilor Davila, followed by Councilor Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do have a question. Is Phil on the line, sir?
Yes, Phil is present.
Phil, am I good, sir?
Yeah.
Good evening. Phil, have we had any input from the church since then?
Not since the last meeting. I know the last petitioner that came before the city council had a number of conversations with the church. I did inform the new petitioner to touch base with them as well, but I have not had any contact from the.
I'm sorry, Phil, would you mind repeating? Because I have a hard time hearing you here.
Sorry. Again, the only contact I have had with the church was at the previous, when the previous petitioner had applied for the special permit, and I know there were a number of meetings between him and the church. But as far as this petitioner and the church itself, I have not received any communications from the church.
Right. Phil, I do remember the church members were here during the first hearing. Would you be able to recap for me what the concerns were?
Well, I think, as Councilor Whitfield said, I think that the church had a number of issues with, again, whether it was noise from how it was being operated. They had concerns that the way that I think it was currently being operated was impacting some of the services. But again, I know that previous petitioner went and met with them, and I as the council is aware, you ended up approving that special permit. But I did hear that they had one of the issues was that sometimes people would sit in the parking lot and play their music loud, so that was going to be addressed by the petitioner to make sure that they kept people from staying there and then playing loud music. So I know that was an issue that was raised last time.
Understood. And so, Phil, just to be clear, there has been no contact from the church with you since then, correct?
No, I have not received any contact from the church.
Thank you, Phil. Mr. President, sir, I do believe that Attorney, I'm sorry, D'Souza? De Cruz, my apologies. I believe he has referenced a couple of times. He has pictures he would like to show us. I don't know if that's something that's appropriate at this time regarding the fence. Is that what, Attorney, is that the pictures you want to show? Or?
We have photos. If you'd like, the council would like to see them, we'd be more than happy to show.
Sure. I don't think I saw them.
Attorney, you can hand those to the clerk
Is that
or
something
to
that can be
Councilor
done?
Brown, and they can distribute them. Do you have them? I'm getting there. I'm getting there, Councilor.
Okay.
Do you have them in a virtual capacity that you could email to us
Yes,
at this time?
I shall try.
Okay, thank you. So Councilor Hurst, Whitfield, and Fenton, as soon as that comes into us, well, it won't take too long. As soon as that comes into us, which should be within moments, we will forward that to you so you can see what we are seeing.
Point of order, Mr. President. If she cannot get the photos to us, should you guys be circulating those photos until we are able to view the same thing?
Yes,
I'm not really sure.
Yes, she is now forwarding them to me, so we are not proceeding forward until you have the photos.
Excuse me, Mr. President, what is the email address I
Yep, so
should send it to?
you can email them to myself. I am JLED as in door, ERMAN at springfieldcityhall.com.
Okay.
Mr. President, I have some comments.
Councilor Walsh, so our rules dictate that when we have virtual participation, we have to ensure that the virtual participants are able to view the same materials that we are viewing. And so I'm going to call a 2-minute recess while I distribute the materials to the councilors participating virtually.
Ready?
I'm ready. Council will come back to order. I have transmitted the photos that were shared with us in 4 separate emails as provided by Attorney Bernardo. So Councilor Whitfield, Hurst, and Fenton, you should have access to those. I forwarded them at approximately 7:58 p.m. And I believe Councilor Walsh would now have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I appreciate the comments of the ward counselor, Councilor Brown, who told us that the petitioner has a good working relationship with the community. And we are simply being asked to approve a change in petitioner. So I think with everything that's been said tonight, with how well the petitioner has moved and addressed the concerns raised before, all we're being asked is a name change. I think we should call the question and vote on the change of petitioner. And I make that motion to call the question.
Councilor Walsh, the hearing is open, so we can't call the question.
Well, as soon as it's closed.
Okay, so the hearing remains open, and Councilor Walsh was the last counselor on the list to be recognized. So at this time, the hearing remains open. Are there any further counselors that wish to be recognized for questions for the petitioner while the hearing remains open? Councilor Down.
Thank you. I'm just going to state, Mr. President.
I'm sorry, Mr. President, my hand was raised.
Councilor Whitfield, I apologize. I thought your hand was raised from the previous iteration, so is it all
I'm
come
sorry.
to you? I'll come to you as soon as Councilor Davila relinquishes the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just say that it seems to me, sir, that from what the attorney was saying, that they have, and the information that Councilor Brown has given us, that everything seems to be in order, that the neighborhood is happy with this. It seems to me that if there was a problem, the church members would have been here, because I do remember them coming here. And out of respect for them and the concerns, I raised the issue on the fence, but it appears that everything has been worked out. So I will be pleased to be supporting this, Mr. President. Thank you.
Councilor Davila. Councilor Whitfield.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am going to agree with Councilor Davila and Councilor Brown. I looked at the photos. The photos look good. Thank you for having those, attorney. I haven't heard anything from the church either. I just wanted to make sure that the fence part was taken care of. That was my only concern. So I do appreciate those photos, and I wish you the best with your ownership change. I will also support this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Is there any further deliberation, questions for the petitioner while the hearing remains open? Seeing no further questions for the petitioner, at this time, without objection, I'll declare that the public hearing is now closed. Is there any deliberation amongst the council prior to our vote on the special permit? Seeing no further deliberation at this time, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on approval of the special permit. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilor Edwards.
Is there an issue with lack of?
Our current numbers in the chamber.
Are our colleagues coming back into the chamber? Okay.
We have 12 voting members present, both virtually and in the chamber.
Okay, thank you.
On approval of the special permit, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran. Away, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The special permit is approved.
The reasons for granted permit is the specific site is an appropriate location for such a use, structure, or condition. The use as developed will not adversely affect the neighborhood. Adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided for the proper operation of the proposed use, and to incorporate the planning staff analysis into the decision at the basis of the findings.
On approval of the reasons, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran. Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The reasons are approved. I'm informed there was an audio issue with the recording of the vote, and so we will take both votes again. Madam Clerk, without objection, please call the roll on approval of the special permit.
On approval of the special permit, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The special permit is approved. Counselor Govan on the reasons.
The specific site is an appropriate location for such a use, structure, or condition. The use as developed will not adversely affect the neighborhood. Adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided for the proper operation of the proposed use, and to incorporate the planning staff analysis into the decision at the basis of the findings.
Thank you, Counselor Govan. Is there any discussion on the reasons? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on approval of the reasons.
On approval of the reasons, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The reasons are approved. Item 8 is concluded. Madam Clerk, please call item 9.
Item 9 is for a special permit for motor vehicle sales and service at the property known as 16 Amity Court.
Is the petitioner present? 16 Amity Court, please step forward. Yeah, we just fixed it. Yeah, we just fixed it.
He needs an interpreter, Mr. President. Is there anyone that can interpret? No? Would you like me to?
Sir, do you need an interpreter? Yeah. Councilor Govan, if you would like to, that is appropriate.
I can do that.
Okay. So this is a special permit hearing.
I don't know how to say hearing in Spanish. La situación para el permiso especial.
Will be held in accordance with the rules of the Springfield City Council.
Se va a llevar acuerdo de la regla del el consejero de la ciudad de Springfield.
Proponents of the special permit will be given 20 minutes to testify in favor.
Los que están de acuerdo del permiso van a tener 20 minutos para hablar de lo por qué quieren el permiso.
And opponents will be given the same 20 minutes.
Y los que están opuestos van a tener 20 minutos también.
We'll now declare that the public hearing is open.
Ahora el hearing va a estar open.
And we will recognize the petitioner as the first
Y usted
proponent.
puede hablar. ¿Y cuál es su nombre?
Mi nombre es William Meléndez.
¿Cómo?
William Meléndez.
Sí.
If you'd like to raise and speak directly into it.
Ajá. Y habla más duro.
Ok, mi nombre es William Meléndez.
William Melendez. Ok, dime por qué está pidiendo el permiso
Estoy
especial.
pidiendo el permiso para añadir al taller que tengo por lo menos un espacito para 5 carros, para vender carros usados.
Okay, so he said that he's asking for a special permit so he could add 5 cars to his lot right now.
Do you wish to present anything further?
¿Hay otra más información que quiere dejar saber?
No.
No.
Thank you very much.
Gracias.
At this time, are there any additional individuals present to speak in favor of the special permit? Seeing none, are there any individuals present either in person or virtually to speak in opposition to the special permit? Say again, are there any individuals present to speak in opposition to the special permit? Seeing none, at this time, while the hearing remains open, are there any questions from members of the City Council? Councilor Davila.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, just to be point of information, would you like me, since the proponent does not speak English, sir, would you like me to have Councilor Govan translate for me, or would you like to speak the native language? And so I prefer to ask in English if Councilor Govan could translate for me.
I was going to say to keep the consistency. I think it makes most sense since Councilor Govan volunteered to interpret for you to speak in English and Councilor Govan to translate. If you could have
You
the
don't mind,
petitioner, Councilor Govan, the petitioner, you can return to the podium. Councilor Davila.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Mr. Melendez. I do believe you say you want to add 5 cars.
Sí.
Councilor Govan.
Usted dijo que quiere añadir 5 carros. ¿Es
Sí.
verdad? Sí. Yes.
Right. And that's 16 Amity Court, I believe?
Are
Is
you
that
saying
what
the
you-
address?
Yeah, 16 Amity Court.
En 16 de la Amity Court. Ahí es el sitio.
Sí.
Sí, yes.
I mean, ahí es que van a estar estacionados.
That's where they're going to be parked.
Pues
Okay,
yo
wait.
tengo 16 y 30.
¿Cómo?
Yo tengo 16 y 30.
You have
So son
6,
dos
tienes
juntos.
16 y 30.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
pero
so,
los carros, el permiso es para 16.
okay, so he has a lot for 16 and 30, but the special permit is for the 16 car lot. So he wants to add 5 to that one.
Okay. I believe he met with the Forest Park Civic Association, right?
Usted se reunió con la Asociación de Forest Park, ¿verdad? Yes.
Sí, creo que lo vi en la reunión.
¿Y qué le dijeron? Are you asking what they said at the meeting?
That is quite all right, Councilor
My
Davila.
apologies. I do, Mr.
And
President.
thank you, Councilor Govan.
I do believe I saw him at the meeting.
Él lo vio en la reunión ese día.
Right. And they voted in favor of that, correct?
Y votaron a favor de el permiso, ¿verdad? Yes.
Yes. Mr. President, through the Madam Clerk, the President. Madam Clerk, did we get anything from the Forest Park Civic Association?
I didn't receive anything, no.
No,
I'm not
okay.
sure if it's part of the packet that was submitted by
Very
Mr.
well.
Dromey.
Okay. Then, Mr. President, I have to say that I was there myself, and I did personally see him present to the Forest Park Civic Association, and I do know, have first knowledge that they voted in favor for it. So my compliments, and I will be happy to support this.
So él está de apoyo. Gracias.
Thank you, Councilor Davila. Are there any further questions for the petitioner while the hearing remains open? Seeing no further questions for the petitioner at this time, without objection, we'll declare that the public hearing is now closed. Is there any deliberation amongst members of the council prior to our vote on the special permit? Seeing no further deliberation, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on approval of the special permit. 2/3 majority vote is required.
On approval of the special permit, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The special permit is approved. Councilor Govan on the reasons.
Ya. Should I tell them that it got approved? The specific site is an appropriate location for such a use, structure, or condition. The use as developed will not adversely affect the neighborhood. Adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided for the proper operation of the proposed use and to incorporate the planning staff analysis into the decision at the basis of the findings.
Thank you, Councilor Govan. Is there any discussion on the reasons? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on approval of the reasons.
On approval of the reasons, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The reasons are approved. Madam Clerk, please call the final item.
Final item is for a special permit for an accessory wall sign above the first floor of the property known as 1021 Boston Road.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This special permit hearing will be run in accordance with the same rules of the evening. Proponents will be received 20 minutes to testify in favor. Opponents will have the same rights. Both sides will be entitled to 5 minutes of rebuttal. At this time, we'll declare that the public hearing is now open and recognize the petitioner as the first proponent. Please state your name and address for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Dan Finnegan. I'm an attorney with Bulkley Richardson at 1500 Main Street in Springfield. We're here tonight on behalf of the petitioner, Springfield Storage Investors, LLC. And as stated, this is for a special permit to erect 2 accessory wall signs above the first floor of an existing self-storage facility located at 1021 Boston Road. There was a prior application in front of the council back in May that was denied for 2 accessory wall signs at this location. The concerns raised at that time were the visibility of the signs from some of the surrounding areas due to their size. After speaking to the law department, we decided the best course of action was to submit a new application with substantially and materially different sized signs. So that's what's in front of you tonight. And we're hoping that that does address the visibility concerns. With me tonight is Gary McCoy. Gary is with Poignant Signs, and he can talk about the plans and the specifics of the signs themselves. Gary?
Mr. McCoy, please state your name and address for the record.
Gary McCoy, 125 Samuel Barnett Boulevard, New Bedford, Massachusetts.
Floor is yours.
Thank you. As Attorney Finnegan mentioned, the prior application that we had before the board was a sign of 96 square feet. And after review, I actually could honestly say that that might have been a little bit big myself. We made a substantial change to the sign size. We reduced it by over 35%. And the signs are still located in the same locations at the upper levels of the building, kind of a tower area where these facilities typically place their signs. So with that reduction, I think we meet all of the criteria needed to approve this. That the sign is attractively designed. It's compatible with the architectural elements. It matches the building. It's in keeping with other signs that you'll find in the area. The illumination is pretty standard. There isn't anything special about the materials on this sign, a basic construction that you'd find in any channel letter sign in town. With that said, I think we meet all of the criteria. Respectfully request that you guys consider approving this.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. Does that conclude both of your testimonies? At this time, we'll ask you to step aside. Are there any further individuals present to speak in person or virtually relative to approval of the special permit? Seeing none, is there anybody present to speak in opposition, either in the chamber or virtually this evening? Say again, are there any individuals present to speak in opposition to the special permit? Seeing none, are there any questions from members of the council while the hearing remains open? Councilor Fenton.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say this is how the system's supposed to work. Appreciate the accommodations on the sign change and happy to support this tonight.
Thank you, Councilor Fenton. Councilor Davila.
Thank you, Mr. President. To the attorney, What's the current size of the signs going up now?
Excuse me?
What are the dimensions of the sign?
The proposed sign is 61.57 square feet each. So both signs are identical, individual channel letters, well within your bylaw if we were not asking for this relief here.
And just for comparison purposes, what is the original plan called for?
It was 97 square feet.
Oh, that's significant.
Yes, sir.
The reduction. Okay. And just to dot my i's and cover my t's, it's going to be a standard size. They're going to be flashy or.
Yes, stationary illumination. No different than anything else that you see that is individual letters in town. Very basic.
But I do recall at a time I raised my objection that in that corner there, sir, I have personally witnessed fatalities and some serious accidents. So I'm glad that those accommodations have been made. It seems to me appropriate. It seems like you went back, did your homework, and I thank you for it because we do want to keep you here. So, Mr. President, I will be thrilled to support this tonight. Thank you.
Thank you,
sir.
Councilor Davila. Are there any further questions for the petitioner while the hearing remains open? Seeing no further questions without objection, I'll now declare that the public hearing is closed. Is there any further deliberation amongst members of the body prior to our vote on the special permit? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on approval of the special permit.
On approval of the special permit, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Kern.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. Special permit is approved. Councilor Govan on the reasons.
The specific use site is an appropriate location for such a use, structure, or condition. The use as developed will not adversely affect the neighborhood. Adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided for the proper operation of the proposed use to incorporate the planning staff analysis into the decision at the basis of the findings.
Thank you, Councilor Govan. Is there any discussion on the reasons? Seeing no discussion, Madam Clerk, without objection, please call the roll on approval of the reasons.
On approval of the reasons, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Quick Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient and the reasons are approved. Madam Clerk, is there any further business properly brought before this body?
There is not.
Then at this time, we will stand adjourned until our next regular meeting. Thank you all.